Hi, friends. I'm not sure if you can hear me, so if you can hear me, make sure that you type your questions. I started a little bit early just to make sure that we can work out the kinks. So if I have any friends who are with me just a little bit earlier, thank you. And oh, error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. I am sorry if you have buffering. I see that we have one person on. So feel free to type your questions in the chat. And again, if you are here with me, thank you. This is the first time. The last time I tried to live stream, it ended very badly. Well, it started very badly, it ended very badly. So hopefully you can hear me. Oh, I see we have some viewers. Hopefully you can hear. Hi. Hi, friends. So I just typed the comment. Let me know if you can hear me. I see that we have a couple people on. Type your comments, say hello, let me know, like, hey, I can hear you. Because I have not done this in a long time and everything has changed. So I do apologize if you have any buffering. Really, it's only the one screen. Hi, G-Man. G-Man, can you hear me? Please let me know if you can. Because if you can hear me, that would be awesome. I don't know if anybody can, so I'm gonna type to you just in case you didn't. Can you hear me? Oh, I don't know if you're being funny or no, I just don't know if my sound is working. Because if I put it up so that I can hear it, then you guys are gonna hear weird feedback. So just let me know if you can hear what I am saying. Hello. Hello. Echo. Echo. I hope you're doing well, G-Man. Oh, I'm gonna take that as you can't hear me. Uh-oh. I don't want to have to communicate to you guys through typing. That kind of defeats. Oh no. You know, last time it was the view. Okay, let me go to my dashboard. Let's see. Sources. Audio. Hello. All right, we're trying this now. Can you guys hear me? I'm trying something else. We're playing around here. All right. Oh, you hear me fine. Okay. Uh-oh, I did change. Can you still hear me? G-Man, you're awesome. Thank you for helping me work out the kinks here. It's been so long since I've live streamed, and this is a totally new system. For those of you who don't know, I tried last time in the old classic live streaming. We were not able to do because I have under 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for my new subscribers, by the way. And so I went to my webcam and that was just awful. It was awful. So Oh, I see we have 4 viewers. Hi, friends. Thank you for joining me. If you can hear me, give me a wave like G-Man did. He's been awesome helping me to make sure that that I'm audible and that you guys can hear me. Oh, yeah, it does say that um that YouTube is not receiving enough video. I do not know why that is. Um and I don't know how to fix it. So if any of you out there know how to fix it, that's awesome. But I am here to give you guys answers. If you have questions, life questions, book questions, you want to know about the book, want to know about law of attraction, I'm your girl. Feel free to ask me any questions. Again, this next Friday, oh my gosh, this buffering is killing me. On my end, it says error, so um, I can see that it is buffering. Um, oh man, how do I? It says it gives me more info. Okay, we're gonna try one more thing to see if I can help with the buffering. Maybe there's a setting I don't know about. Oh man, this is so hard. Oh, output. Maybe output? I don't know enough about the output to fix it. Oh, I'm gonna have to do more research. All right, well, for the 4 of you who are here, thank you. Hopefully YouTube can connect us really well and that you are not buffering. I'm going to type again because it seems like typing works. Am I still buffering? These live streams are almost comical. If you saw the last one, which was last week, it was hilariously bad. In fact, I hope you liked it just because of how bad it is. Hi, I see we have 5 people. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Feel free to type in a question. It seems it seems like the connection's good for a minute. But ask your questions. I will answer. It's not much of a Q&A if you can't hear me. Ooh, sciatica, G-man. Oh, okay. So this is not so much a psychic, but I will certainly use my intuition. But in terms of sciatica, I've had some experience with that myself. Um, I do find that gentle stretching does help. You may want to talk to your doctor about certain stretches. So chiropractor is great. I also know quite a few people who use acupuncture as one of their therapies in addition to their chiropractor. But um, oh my gosh, this live streaming, it's giving me all sorts of like notices and oh, this is so much fun. But in terms of sciatic, so on a non-intuitive level, stretching can help, but again, talk to your doctor, talk to your chiropractor, because I will say my sciatic acts up if I've been sitting too long, if I have not stretched in a very long time. And again, gentle is the key word. The other one is he does both. It's great. Um, the other thing, like I said, is acupuncture. In terms of getting better, every person is different. But I do know people who have responded really well to the acupuncture. Now, on an intuitive level, Um, I'm feeling like 3 to 6 months will help. You're going to start feeling some relief in about 3 to 6 months if you're consistent with the therapy, with the stretching. Um, and what I'm getting is that on an intuitive level, acupuncture will help you a little bit, but watch the movement. And I kind of feel like the more you move, the better you're going to be. But again, just go slow, take your time. So I'm glad you asked questions, and hello, my new friends. Um, Again, thank you, G-Man, for participating and helping me out with my technical difficulties. Um, so anybody else have any other questions? You can ask Law of Attraction. You can ask, and actually, G-Man, going to Law of Attraction. I'm not sure if you are a believer or not. But health wise, there's a couple things that you can look at the sciatica. Ask yourself in what way. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about the buffering. I wish I was smart enough to know or had enough knowledge. I am smart enough but if I had enough knowledge to know how to fix it. I know that there's a setting that I can do. I just don't know enough about this software on how to do it. Hold on, I'm going to try something else. My friends who are waiting, just keep holding on. We're going to try something else. We're going to try changing the resolution. Settings. Resolution. And that would be my dog. Output. We want... Okay, we want streaming. Audio bitrate. Okay, I'm trying to change the settings here. So those who are just joining me, I'm attempting to change the video bitrate. I have no idea if what I'm doing is going to help or if it's going to cause more issues. All right, let's apply. Let's see if it works. Maybe, maybe not. Video. Resolution. Okay, so it's not letting me change the resolution. Okay, so it's something I'm going to have to play with next time. We will get this working again. We will figure this out. I'm so sorry for the buffering. If you are sticking with me for this long, you are awesome. Again, I'm a novice at this software, so anybody feels up for tutoring the novice, I am up for it. If you use the OBS software for live streaming, feel free to help. I will take it. Oh, my dog. Yes, he likes to think he's the big dog. He likes to bark his little head off. In fact, he's looking at the door right now to make sure that nobody's coming in. But yes, he is. He is my loud little doggy. Luckily, not all the time. So I see we still have 3 people with us. One of us is G-Man, which, by the way, G-Man has a channel, so if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And for anybody else, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Like I said, I have a book coming out on the 14th. We are having a launch party on Facebook. So if you go to JD Life Coach, Reiki Master, and Author at the Indigo Papillon on Facebook, you will see that there's like an event that was shared. So join the event. It is a public event, and there will be contests and I'm just so excited that the book is coming out. Hi, Champagne. Hello. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm apologizing in advance for the buffering. G-Man is telling me it's pretty bad over there on his end. I hope that you're able to hear me okay. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions, this is not an intuitive reading session. This is like life coach questions. If you have questions on law of attraction, if you're experiencing any blocks, if you have a question about my new book coming out on the 14th, feel free to ask. But I am doing much better than I was a year ago. For those who do not know or who did not see my Where Have I Been video, I did go through breast cancer, and I am fine now. I'm not even on medication. They actually have a stage 0, which I did not know was even a stage. Didn't know it existed. Didn't didn't realize that that was a thing. But they caught it so early that it hadn't breached the walls of the duct, so it was all contained. And so because of that, I just had to do radiation. That's a great question, Champagne. Why would somebody need a life coach? What is a life coach? I love it. That's the perfect question. Okay, so there's a ton of reasons why somebody would need a life coach. And actually, at the end of the last chapter in my book, one of the last chapters, thank you, Champagne. One of the last chapters of the book goes on different types of um, professionals, whether it's, what the difference between a life coach, a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, and a psychologist, and kind of when to see which. But um, oh, well, G-Man, you are a cutie to be sure. Um, a life coach, people who come to me for coaching can come for a variety of reasons. It could be relationship issues, either the relationship they're currently in or attracting somebody. But really attracting when if you want to attract the right person, um, it's a matter of loving yourself first. It is a matter of putting yourself first. So often we put everyone else around us um, first, and what ends up happening is we don't give ourselves the love and attention that is going to light up that light within us that will draw people to us. Um, or, oh, thank you, G-Man. I'm still dealing with immune issues because post radiation immunity, and I will get back to your question, Champagne. I promise. Um, I did not realize. I knew that I'd be extremely fatigued with radiation, but I've been sick with like viruses and stomach bugs on and off since October. So this is one of the healthiest I've been. The last virus I had was 6 weeks. So this is the healthiest I've been in 6 weeks, knock on wood. And hopefully it's just going to keep getting better from there. Um, but back to what a life coach is. So people will see me for a variety of reasons. Let's say you have a small business and you have reached a plateau or you've seen a decrease. I have worked with different small businesses or people getting ready to start their business and help them uncover where those blocks are. A life coach will never tell you what the problem is, or they shouldn't. A life coach does not diagnose, they help you uncover your own blocks, your own issues. So I will ask like those deep and probing questions to see, to help you go, I didn't realize that. For example, I was talking with a friend the other day, and I kind of put on my life coach hat with them, and they were dealing with a mess. And that's something I deal with a lot. I have spent the past 3 years understanding why I'm a clutter bug or was. Um, And it seemed like no matter how much I got rid of, things just kept accumulating. So part of the job of being a life coach is you have to coach yourself first. And I really thought I knew somewhere that my weight and my clutter were tied together. Um, but it turned out that, and I thought it was just stress, but it was actually not taking enough time to love myself. It was it was stress, but it was also surrounding myself with things, learning how to eliminate guilt of getting rid of items, and really seeing them for what they are. They're just a material object, and that it's okay to save the memory and not the item. And it's something that I may have to always work on. But the state of my house now versus the state of my house 3 years ago, 3 years ago, if I had a guest coming over, even for like, say, dinner, I would have to clean for minimum 4 days. Now I have somebody coming over, I can whip this house up into shape in like 45 minutes. And that's the difference. Um, and so I had to go through the coaching myself. There are clients that I've worked with who, again, they have relationship issues between each other, that they're, two people trying to get along and trying to make a life together and uncovering where the blocks are. So a life coach can help with any number of things. And every coach has a specialty. I do tend towards um, the personal, like again, relationships, self-love, um, and spiritual. A lot of people will reach out to me if they're having trouble connecting on a spiritual level with their own lives. They don't necessarily need to be taught what to do, but they need to be taught what the block is. So, really, a life coach's job is to help you uncover the blocks, give you tools and activities to help you um, make progress. And I take it from a whole person approach. I take it from all the bodies, the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental, and each one is just as important. And if there's a block in one, it's going to throw off everything else. And my book is kind of like my coach's letter to all my clients who've worked with the law of attraction and have been frustrated. So if you didn't know, I do have a book coming out. It is going to be next Friday, the 14th, and it is called Why Isn't It Working for Me? Law of Attraction and the Missing Pieces. I did put it in the description. I don't know if it's there yet. But it helps a lot of the clients that I've worked with do all these steps of positive thinking, positive affirmations, and they feel stuck. They feel as if it doesn't work. And the problem is with law of attraction, it works all the time, whether you like it or not. So it's bringing things that you want, and it's also bringing things that you don't want, but that you're thinking of. So if you're stressed all the time, and you go out into traffic, and you're like, oh, I don't want anyone to cut me off. Well, the universe, all the vibration that you're sending out is being cut off. And so that's what you're going to get more of. You're going to get more people cutting you off. If you, let's say, okay, being sick, so having breast cancer, there are reasons why that I kind of attracted it to myself by not caring and loving and mothering myself the way I was everyone else. And actually, in the book, I talk about how it was in many ways a blessing, uh, because it was. People don't like to think of things like that as a blessing, but it actually was. And when we were talking about the sciatic, I was about to ask G-Man, with the sciatic issues. Uh, oh, I do photography. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay. So so the sciatic, when your back started hurting, it stopped certain activities. So the question is, were you starting to get tired of the activities and the sciatic kind of came up as a way to get you out of it? Um, that just and I don't want you to answer now. That's something you want to answer yourself. Were you like ready for a life change, kind of like leaving, electronics, giving it up, and kind of didn't know how to go about doing it, but then having the sciatic made it just a little bit easier? Because what I found with having the cancer and the pituitary adenoma, which is like a small little tumor on the pituitary gland, it put my life into laser sharp focus. All those things that I had been doing, I'd had, gosh, 3, 4 jobs for almost 20 years. I was working myself exhausted. And frankly, I needed a break, but I didn't want to let the people around me down. And I would have just kept going until I either had a stroke or a heart attack. Um, and And so for me, the health issues actually made me slow down in a way that I am very grateful for. So I ask you that. Um, and are you headed in the right direction? So as a coach, my question would be, when you think of giving up everything, do you feel a sense of relief or a sense of dread? If you are feeling a sense of relief, then yes, without a doubt, right choice. If you are feeling a sense of dread, then you may want to take a step back and say, okay, how do I keep this in my life without without continuing to hurt myself? How can I continue to do this without adding to my pain? So for me, I gave up my office, and so now I do work online and on the phone. And so that was a way for me to keep doing what I love doing, but without doing further damage to my stress levels or body. So hopefully that, um, oh my good, oh no. Oh, that's awful, G-Man. Okay, so it's funny. It's funny you bring that up with, not that it's funny you slipped, but being a caretaker. Actually, in my book, I have a whole section on being a caretaker, um, and how to make that work for you. So the sciatic happened as kind of a result of an injury. So I do feel you will go back to photography, but not for a while. I think you're going to take a break from it. And this is more intuitively. This is not the life coach JD talking. This is the intuitive. Um, I'm getting a hard 7 months on that. So I don't know if it's 7 months from the slip or if it's the 7 months from today. So if it's 7 months from today, you're looking at uh, January, February of next year. If it's 6 months from the slip, we'll then go back and then 7 months from the slip and then go back and find the timeline there. So I'm not sure which it is, whether it's going to be from the slip or from today. But I do see you going back. And again, maybe not in the same way that you were doing it. You may have to find different techniques, different tactics, so as to keep yourself safe from further injury. But I do feel like you're innovative enough that you're gonna be able to do that, and in a way that feels more comfortable for you. And it may mean that you're gonna bring props with you to sit on, um, or stands for you to put your camera on, so that this way you're not putting yourself at further risk with slipping and falling again. So great questions, I have to say. And again, I'm so sorry to hear about the injury. That is not fun. But Sometimes we are forced to slow down. For years before I was diagnosed with the cancer, I kept it, and I think I've talked about this on past videos. I kept seeing slugs on my door. Now and none of my other neighbors where I live had slugs. And I'd get one slug, and I got that for a couple months. And then one day I had like 7 or 8, maybe 11 slugs all over my door. And slugs for me are a sign of slow down. I don't have a garden, so there's no garden for these slugs to be like. They were climbing on brick and they were climbing on glass and plastic. There was no real, and they weren't climbing to anything. Like there was nothing yummy or delicious for them to eat on my door. Um, and I actually had one make it an escape into my house. Okay, so if you're about halfway, so then it's either going to be 3 months from now, um, or it's going to be the 7. And that's funny because I think when I first talked to you about the sciatic healing, I felt that I think I said in the beginning of this live stream that it was going to be a 3 to 6 month recovery. So that 3.5 to 7 months would put it at about the right time when you're starting to feel better. So that makes sense. So either end, and it could be at any point between the 3.5 and the 7 months. So 3.5 might be the 7 months, or might be the 3.5 from now, or 7 from now. So that makes sense compared to what I had talked about before. So I think we have 2 people on. Thank you for my friends who are still on. Again, any more questions, I'm happy to answer. I am here. I'm going to stay here for the next half hour or so. See if we have any good questions. And like I said, we've had good ones so far. Oh, and thank you for the likes. Thank you. I just saw the thumbs up. I'm glad that it's a little bit better now with the video. Again, sorry for the buffering. We are learning. I will do more research before the next one. I am doing another live stream next Monday, this time to talk about law of attraction and people who are frustrated with it. So if you are learning about into or just curious about law of attraction, that's what it's going to be next week. You are going to see, so while I'm waiting for some questions, you are going to see some changes in this channel from what I was doing before. Again, keeping up the daily videos is going to be tough, and that's one of the things I made the choice to give up when I became sick, is that I could not keep up the daily schedule. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it. But I'm also shifting while I'm still doing, private sessions over the phone, uh, in terms of intuition. That is a little bit less my focus, and my focus is shifting a little bit more towards coaching, which, as Champagne asked, what coaching is. It's really helping people who are ready to move forward, who are ready to make changes. A lot of times with intuitive readings, people are looking to be given the answers, where with coaching, I'm helping you to discover the answers. And that tends to be how I do my intuitive sessions anyway, because I think it's important, that process of self-discovery, because when you discover it for yourself, you take ownership, and you have a deeper understanding of yourself. And when somebody gives you information, it almost becomes something that you can put external or outside of yourself. And so I'm excited to help more people make progress and move forward. And I will say that, I'm excited about the changes that I've made, and about the slowing down. And it's funny, in some ways I've sped up. I have 3 books that will be coming out this year. The book, Why Isn't It Working for Me? Then in the fall, I will have the workbook. And by the way, the book that's coming out in 2 weeks has a free mini workbook for anybody who purchases it, there's a code inside the book that you can get a downloadable workbook to get you started. And it's not one of those that, oh, download this, but to get real stuff, go buy this. And you will be able to buy it if you don't feel like buying the whole book. But if you do get the book, you can get that mini one for free. And it gives you 7 activities. And 7 may not sound like a lot, but there's actually 26 pages of information and questions. And so it's actually it's quite a decent size ebook. And then there's going to be the workbook in the fall, which will have over 50 activities, more information, and really to get you started on that path of, okay, here's what I want to change, and giving you the questions, activities, and steps to get you there, to move you forward, and to accept abundance and beautiful things like health, feeling good, feeling not just happy good, but physically good. And G-Man, I totally get you. When you're in pain, it affects everything. Everything. I've had chronic back pain since I was a kid because I was a klutz. I've fallen off of horses, off of ladders, downstairs, upstairs. That was a fun trick, falling up the stairs. I've just fallen walking because why not? Because apparently walking is something that most people learn how to do when they're babies. I, on the other hand, learned how to fall. And fall I did. And so I've screwed up my back more times than I can say. Um, and, learning how to manage the pain and, finding ways not just to manage, but to thrive, and making sure I don't re injure it because I've, injured it so much. When I do things like yoga, it is prone to re injuring. So I've had to learn how to be careful. And again, that's why I said gentle stretches are super helpful. Um, and yeah, so and then the third book is going to be oh, I will answer that in one moment. The third book is actually going to be about dating. Now, well, not just dating, but about being single and thriving. So it is geared to the single girl, but it doesn't have to be. Like, all the same principles can be for the single guy and really of any age. It's about, how to thrive, and not just survive. And it's kind of letters, and um, helpful hints and tips and things that I wish my 20-year-old self knew, and that I keep having to tell my 40-year-old self. So for the law of attraction, the law, well, that, that's a good question. What do I see in the law of attraction for you? Um, the law of it, it's a complicated question because we are all attracting. Oh my gosh, G-Man, you could not be any righter with that statement. You do have to learn how to fall before you can walk. And boy, did I learn how to fall. So it means I'm a really great walker now. But I spent the earliest part of my life falling a lot. But law of attraction, it's more complicated than one thing. We are attracting things, multiples. Like, there are literally thousands of things that we are attracting to and pushing away from us at any given time. Um, and so I'm kind of glad you asked that question because we oftentimes think of it in terms of a linear process where, okay, I want a car, so I'm going to attract a car to me. But in the meantime, while we're attracting that car, we are busy attracting like a dozen other things into our life or out of our life. So let's take your question, law of attraction, and let's say, what is it that you are looking for? What would you like to attract to you? Um, we know health, and like I said, and like I was saying for health, like let's start with health. So you want a healthy, happy back. You want a back that feels good. So one of the things that you can do to speed the healing along is, and this is going to sound strange, but release the pain. One of the activities that I go over is acknowledging it and then releasing it. So okay, when I got the cancer, one of the things I did was I said, okay, I recognize your purpose in my life. Your purpose for me was to slow me down. I've learned that lesson, and now I look forward to being healthy and being happy. And I release this, and I am done with this lesson. Um, and it was removed. Now, I had 3 surgeries. Law of attraction, you will talk to some people, and a couple people said to me, well, just think yourself healthy. And that's not quite how it works. Like, once you've already attracted it, it's now you have to get yourself there. You have to take those steps and release what you need to release. And for me, it meant physically releasing through surgery. Um, if you pop a tire, if you break a plate, that you can think all you want, those happy positive thoughts, that plate is not gluing itself back together and becoming one whole plate. Same thing with if we hurt ourselves, if we're sick, we attract that. Well, now it's, let's not attract any more of that. Let's start attracting more and more and more health. So when you go to bed at night, if you are feeling comfortable in your bed, acknowledge that. Say, um, say an affirmation like, "Oh, body, thank you for allowing me to relax." Because I know with sciatic, it makes it hard. It can make it hard to sleep. At least for me, it does. And saying, "Okay, thank you for allowing me to relax, allowing me to release." Um, if you have a day where it's feeling better, take a moment and relish that feeling. And be like, like right after a chiropractic session. Oh, that feels wonderful. Oh, I enjoy this feeling, and really just relish in that feeling. So when you're having a better day, relish in that feeling. It may not be perfect, but it's better and it releases a little bit. Something else that you can do to help the pain levels is meditate. Meditate, one of the first times I was out of pain was when I meditated for the first time. I was in some sort of workshop, and um, meditation actually reduced my pain, almost as if I had taken 4 Advil. And I was out of pain actually for most of the day. Um, and I cried out of relief because it was the first time in 10 years I did not have severe back pain. So meditation for me worked. And if you meditate, instead of meditating, you don't want to sit there and go, I don't want to have back pain. I don't want to have back pain. Because then it's kind of attracting more back pain. So what you do is see yourself in a state of health. Think back to a time before you slipped, and before you fell, before the injury, where it's like, oh, yeah, I remember that feeling. That feels good. Or focus on another part of your body that does feel good. But one of the keys is kind of releasing the pain. Forgive the moment that it happened. We usually think of forgiving people. Forgive the circumstance. Say, you know what? I understand the role that this had. It helped me to slow down, helped me to make some changes, but I released that lesson. I'm done with that lesson now. So, in terms of using the law of attraction to bring more health, that is what I would recommend in that situation. Does that answer your question? I know that was very wordy, but again, I like to talk, which is why I'm doing this. I enjoy talking. And hopefully, it answered some questions for people who will perhaps watch this in the future. So we have about 15 more minutes left. I think G-Man, I think it's back to just you and me. And if you have any other good law of attraction questions, you're always so much fun to have on here. And I'm so glad that you are here keeping me company, and helping me through this live stream. Again, it's been so long and I've missed, oh my gosh, I have missed live streaming, and I look forward to doing this again next week. Aw, thank you for the thumbs up. I give you a thumbs up too, except I don't know how on my computer. Oh, wait. I see a little sticker face. Will it give me an emoji? No, it won't. That's okay. I'll do one next time. Oh, I see an emoji. Oh, and there it went. Oh, lots of emojis.